Ladies and gentlemen, it is the final day of the FIDE World Blitz. Magnus Carlsen currently leads going into the rounds 12 through to 21. A lot of controversy in the last one. Dubov and Nepomniachtchi making a draw. I've got a YouTube short on it. You can go and check that out. For any that don't know, they danced their knights around in the middle of the board and both got forfeited, so they lost half a point each. Hold on to that thought, because it is important. I've got 5 games to show you today. One is worth its weight in about 8 games, just purely for how long it was. We're going to start off with Maxime Vachier-Lagrave versus Magnus Carlsen. Now, we open up with a fairly normal Sicilian, all of this seen before. There are very few people on planet Earth that can just absolutely starch Magnus, and I mean this with the utmost respect. You could look at, Fabiano or Hikaru or Wesley So or someone like that. Maxime, especially in speed formats, is in that category. This is a man that is not afraid of the challenge. So we get all our trades early. Maxime builds a nice bind here. Magnus' structure, you'll notice, is split, and Maxime is already up a pawn. Already it's looking pretty nice for him. Look at this from Vachier-Lagrave. Rook d3. The rook is hit, this pawn is hit. Could go and defend it quite passively, sure. Why does this work? After ed3, e4, this pawn is going to drop like a fly. And these are just going to smash through. This bishop is actually a very, very strong piece. It's not an immediate payoff, which is what makes it all the more special. So Magnus centralizes his rooks, little dance around. Look how confident Vachier-Lagrave is, even offering the trade. Takes with the pawn. It's just all about crashing through now. Magnus' desperate attempt to make counterplay, but tournament leader has just been chopped down by Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. I mean, he made it look easy. Bishop covers the promotion square. Can't stop king c7. Marching forward. Ladies and gentlemen, Magnus Carlsen has just lost. He has just lost to Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. Now, Magnus naturally needs to bounce back. He has the white pieces against Ricard Rapport. Rapport plays a French, which already gains my disapproval, shall we say. Not that he gives a shit, but already we see Magnus slowly weaving and constructing quite a nice position here. For all intents and purposes, yes, it's evens, but it's complicated, and that's what Carlsen wants. So, only move, maintain a sense of equality, knight a4. And now that is quite incredible. Let's say he's with the rook, just queen f5. See with the bishop, it's the same thing. What doesn't find this? Instead goes king h8. You see knight g3, bishop drops back. And it's not clear why this is winning from the, well, certainly better from the get-go. But this queen is quite optimally placed. The dark squares are just being chopped apart. These knights are kind of stuck guarding each other. And the back rank possibilities are just endless now that the king is no longer on g8. So can Magnus push his advantage here? He wins a pawn. We get some trades. And here, crucial move, king e6. Arguably forces a trade. Rapport obviously low on time, still wants to keep the game going. But Magnus is just up a pawn now. Knights come off. King e6 is, sorry, h6, is a prophylactic move, trying to give the king some breathing room, but it just isn't enough. G3, rook comes in, king is safe on the light squares. Maybe another opportunity there to take the pawn, but calculated from Magnus. Plays the computer best move, queen c2. Generating a pin so that if you take, there's queen e4. Maybe you have a chance of repetition there. Magnus opts to keep the rooks on. 5. Now he takes. And a lovely little step back. Don't ignore the moves where you've gone to take something, there's nothing stopping you moving straight back again. It might feel like a back step. This pin is just incredible. Steps out of the way of it, queen e4. 1 pawn up, there's holding chances, but 2 pawns up, it's as good as over. So, little lesson in conversion. Keep all your pawns guarded. March on forward. Nice idea here to wrap the queen around and isolate the king. Not forgetting, you don't want the king in this little box. Look on the back 2 files. 2 ranks, sorry. For h4. Take a pawn with check, but it isn't enough. Very, very nice win from Magnus Carlsen here. 2 queens. No draw here. All checks covered. Report resigns. This puts Magnus certainly back in contention. I mean, you've got Dubov, you've got Artemiev, you've got Erigaisi, all lurking around, all lingering. We just leave them for a second. Head over to the women's side. Both Kostyanyuk and Humpy Conneru are thereabouts in contention, Kostyanyuk especially. And guys, when I say this game didn't end, it seemed like there was no plausible stop for it. It starts off relatively normal. We get an Italian, and I am going to have to power through this because we will be here all day. You know, get some sort of tension on the e-file. Queen e4. And Kostyanyuk already slightly better here. Bishop d7 now. Allows g4. And where do you put the knight? Well, there goes queen e8. Rook e8, sorry. Kostyanyuk goes queen e8. Already creating such a bizarre imbalance. We've got 2 dark squared bishops, fine. A knight, a bishop, and a rook for a queen. At our level, perhaps, we might prefer the queen because the queen, you know, it can pick off pawns and get checks and stuff. But these guys, you know, at the grandmaster level, of course they know how to coordinate 3 pieces just perfectly. And you can already see how strong the advantage is. Could Humpy Conneru have done something instead of rook e8? Maybe drop the knight back? No, you can't. So, for these exchanges, the dark squared bishops come off as well. How do you win this game? I mean, if all the pawns fall off, it's just these 3. Black probably has good chances of holding. H3, queen b5. And a lot of shuffling goes on. This is an incredibly complex endgame. I haven't seen anything quite like it. I remember Magnus sacrificed his queen against Geary and won quite a good game in an online tournament a couple of years ago. But other than that, I mean, this imbalance is just so rare. Conneru making counterplay with her a-pawn. Piece is still shuffling round. A-pawn falls. A few more checks. And We're already on move 81. The game is so far from over. Both players playing on increment. 2 pawns each now. Shuffling around. Notice here, even the computer doesn't know what's going on. Any evaluation between sort of +1 and 2, especially in an endgame like this, is the computer's admission that you can go fuck yourself and figure it out because he doesn't know. More shuffling, possible repetition, but the pieces just swarm around the king. Any hope of repetition is just lost. If anything, we're looking at maybe 50 move rule now. Here, computer is actually pretty certain on it being equal now. Good luck proving that from either side. Should none of these pawns move, should a capture not take place, and yeah, 50 move rule can kick in. But pawns fall. Back to winning again for white. Still going. Move 146 now. Still shuffling around. Nice here from Kostenjuk, managing to snatch the pawn. And she's just going to guard that pawn with every single piece she has. Looking for a fork, a skewer, absolutely anything. Now move 179. Still shuffling, still going. It looks, you whiz through this entire game, it looks like nothing's happened. One marches forward. Here the only option is Queen G7. Rook takes back. Alexandra Kostenjuk, play and win. Bishop and knight endgame. You ask me to do this? No, not a chance. I mean, I must have played thousands of games on chess.com now. I've only ever seen this once. That's how rare it is. That's why no one knows how to do it. The time I had it, I was the defending side as such. We made a draw because can you expect anyone to know how to do this? I sure don't. I've tried to learn it before. Tried and tried. But to say that I've only ever seen it once, it's just not worth the payoff. Alexandra Kostenjuk, however, is a grandmaster, and a very good one at that. The irony of this position being, Koneru itself, I believe, messed this up in a previous Rapid or Blitz tournament. I think she was playing with Shenina many years ago. She drew by 50 move rule. Kostenjuk plays perfect precision though. Right coordination, the king in the correct corner relative to the bishop. You have to get the black king in a light corner because you have a light square bishop. First move is king h1, bishop b7, be checkmate. Guys, this game was 219 moves. That's the longest game I've ever seen ever, full stop. No rival, 219 moves. What the fuck? Seriously, like, that's just mind-blowing. Now, Valentina Gunina was about 2 points clear of the field, maybe even 2.5 after the first day. This is the final round. She has the very strong Anna Muzychuk in front of her. She wins. It won't matter that Kostyanyuk has just broke a leg trying to, win an hour-long Blitz game. Nina wins. She takes the title. That is it. If she draws, and then Kostyanyuk wins, then we get tie breaks. All normal stuff so far in a Grunfeld. Quick transition into an endgame. Almost, well, a middle / endgame. Queens come off from early. Almost suggesting that certainly Gunina wants to play solid, because she'll know she'll at least have tie breaks secured. She can certainly press her chances in this. Flashing out already with h5. Knight comes around, the bishop is preserved. Knight jumps in. And we slowly start to see just a beautiful positional squeeze. I mean, d5 here, the operative move. Knight is glued in on a light square. Excuse me, on a light square. No hopes of being budged. Glues the bishop in, stifling these rooks. I mean, look at this. It's like compression socks on a octogenarian's leg. It's depressing looking at this. Rooks can't move anywhere. They want this one open file. They can't have it because the bishop has just been, you know, crammed in there, stuffing some socks in a pipe. g4 takes. g5. This bishop is a glorified pawn. Sure, it has some scope over here. That means nothing. e4. If you had any hopes of taking this file, it's now gone. Knight stuck on the edge of the board. Oh, it's just, this is an incredible game. e5, bishop h8. Again, just a matter of technique. Bishop f6 here, forced, pretty much. Because, so you do nothing. Rook g5 is a mate. Either come here, or you can come this way, bishop 6 and rook g7, making use of the pin. We get bishop f6, take. The Duke resigns. Valentina Gunina is the two-time women's Blitz world chess champion. I mean, a massive congratulations to her, of course. She won first time in, I believe, 2012, and 11 years later, she's come back for more. She joins, I think, Albayeva and two others that have won the World Blitz multiple times. She's certainly not in bad company. And I'll update you all on the standings at the end, but this is the final game to show you. There are a lot of draws. It was a bit of an anticlimactic end without spoiling too much. A lot of draws kind of deviating towards the end. But I just want to showcase this this game between Fabiano Caruana and Daniil Dubov. Situation is as follows. Dubov has to win to keep himself in contention. No other options. A draw does him no justice. And look at this already. Bishop h6 from Fabi. It doesn't work. In fact, if he'd gone de5, he'd be bordering on winning already just because of how much pressure there is down the d file. Gets a little saucy with it. It's not because this can be taken. That's a simple idea. The idea actually is knight f2. But if you go king f2, bh6, king g1, and I mean, this is just terrifying. Take and push, bring your queen down. Dubov, sensible as ever, d5. Fabi backs up, ransacked the gaff. Another opportunity now for knight f2. Dubov misses it, instead doubles up. He knows this weakness is here, but doesn't realise how soon he can capitalise, and now Fabi's back to being better again. d5, queen e8, knight c7, queen is hit, queen c8, and here, a very, very nice move from Fabiano. Knight e6. Idea being, take with the queen, rook e4, take because you're pinned. Rather than just ducking the knight out of the way, Perhaps his escape with interest. So, instead, see rook f3, gf3. Knight jumps in. Chaos in the middle of the board. Knight f8. Queen takes h3. Knight g6. Take. Take. Knight h4. Queen h5. King g8. And the only winning move now. Fabiano Caruana. Rook d8. I mean, you can't possibly hope to see that after 30 moves, you know, playing purely on increment. The idea is that when the bishop takes, you have queen e8, king h7, you can take back this way. And you're up an exchange. Queen is nice and close to your king, so there's not much risk. Fabiano goes queen h4. Bishop takes. Pawn takes. Computer gives it flat zeros. Computer doesn't care, but who actually is better here? Queen versus two rooks. Tail as old as time. White does have a lot of pawns. See, allow the position liquidate. But now, one of your rooks is isolated. Can't really come to guard it because of bishop c3. Check. Rook b5. That bishop comes in as expected. And here Dubov just wins. Just wins the game. I can only assume that Caruana flagged here. I mean, he's only got 3 seconds on the clock. But what a clutch that is from Dubov. Fabiano completely winning, but for the whole time as well. I mean, other than a little blip at the start of some tactical skirmish, what can be said? So, this was towards the closing stages of the tournament. All that remains to do is update you on the final standings and who is the victor. Start with the women's side first. As mentioned, Valentina Gunina in first. Clear second and third, so no tie breaks needed there for Alexandra Kostyuk and Zuzhinier. The men's side. The man is just unstoppable. Magnus Carlsen wins with 16 out of 21, only one loss. But in second place, Dubov, technically undefeated, 15.5 points. Had that game against Nepomniachtchi countered, we would have seen a tie break and things maybe could have been different. And Vladislav Artemiev, their third in 15 with 15 points. See at the end here, all draws. Everyone was sort of making quick draws towards the end. Some people were pressing for wins, but it's a tough environment. And that is the conclusion of the FIDE World Rapid and Blitz. I mean, I know what there is now. That's it. Tournaments are done. So much has happened over the last few days. I mean, Reza Firouzja is now qualified to the candidates. I would make a video on that, but I can't get the PGNs for the games anywhere. If anyone knows that, please let me know. And Maja Kazarian fined €100 for wearing the wrong shoes. Well, wrong. See, the Dubov Nepo game being the stupidest draw of all time. Various appeals and controversy with Magnus having his own room, and never a dull day. thank you all for watching.